What more can be done to bring back peace and harmony to Nigeria's garden city, Port Harcourt, and indeed the rest of the oil-rich river state? The past few weeks and months have been a harvest of shocks and the unexpected in a once regarded as one of the most peaceful in Nigeria. The battle for political control between current Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, and his successor as Governor, Fubara, has progressively driven a wedge between the people and those wielding the levers of government. Well, what can be done to permanently halt the seeming dissension into chaos? To help us get a proper understanding of what's been happening and what must be done to regain peace, we are now being joined by Ikoawaji, member of the Rivers State Elders Forum. It's good to have you on the morning show. Good morning. It's good to have you on the morning show.
God bless you.
Thank you for being here. Before we start to speak on solutions and the way forward, I would like to know what your thoughts are on Governor Fubara's decision to remove Eze Sergeant Awuse as the chairman of the State Supreme Council of the Traditional Rulers and appoint Eze Chike Wodo in his place. Do you think that this change in leadership will impact the Traditional Council as well as its role in resolving this political crisis?
Thank you. The governor is the #1 citizen of Rivers State. The governor is holding the mandate of Rivers people. The governor, I felt, know what is good for the people. Now, when you talk about traditional stools, it happens everywhere. Before now, if you look at even from the Bible, God started with the traditional rulers. Now, if you are holding a position of trust, maybe before you assume office, you have taken an oath to maintain peace in the state or to maintain peace within the traditional stools. And it is the governor that issued the certificate. If the governor felt that maybe you are doing one thing or the other that is not according to the oath you took, I think the governor has a right to make a change. Rivers State is not the first place. It happens in other places, even within and outside Nigeria. Because positions of trust are made to use to serve the people. They are not made to use to rule the people. And once you take an oath and you deviate from your oath, I think even in governance, people are made ministers, people are made commissioners, people are given other positions. And once you deviated from what the law says, then whosoever that is in charge has a right to make a change. So removing His Royal Majesty as a Sergeant Awuse is not a first time in the history of Rivers State. It's not removed as the Eze of his place. It's removed as the chairman of Council of Traditional Rulers. He took over from somebody. So it's part of the system. It's not an issue for anybody to think that it's a personal. There is no personal issue in it. It's part of the government.
All right, Chief, I'd like to follow up on the question by my colleague, but I'm interested specifically in the sort of intervention that the Rivers State Elders Council is giving, of course, of which you are a member. I've seen a few interviews of yours in the past in which you allege that the reason why it took so long for the Rivers State Elders Council to make some interventions in what is going on politically in Rivers State is because many of the elders have soiled their hands. So what has changed and what is the position as of today of the Rivers State Elders Forum. Are you backing the governor, or are you trying to mediate to ensure that between Governor Fubara and former governor and now Minister Wike, there is peace, so that Rivers State itself can have some peace?
Thank you. I've said it before. The rule of the elders is to maintain peace. If you're an elder, you are not made to take side with anybody. Every father wants his children to do well. I've said it in my previous interview that before this thing gets to this point, you see that the elders has talked to the former governor and to the present governor. Let me say it very clear. I've said it before. If you have children, when your children are fighting, the duty of every reasonable father is to call them and maintain peace. But in a situation where you have children, if your first son is not doing well, maybe he's not doing what you want, you join your second son to fight your first son. If your second son is not doing well, you join your third son to fight your third son. It does not make you a good father. Now, let me bring in this to everybody's notice. It's not that there is an ethnic war in Rivers State. Rivers State as a state has no problem. There is peace in Rivers State. The only problem we are facing, if you watch from 1999, the governors of Rivers State has come from virtually one set of people. When I say one set of people, it's not one set of ethnic groups, ethnic nationalities. One set of people who felt that they own the political class in Rivers State. And now, this same set of people are the ones causing this problem. That is why I said 1999 politician. When I am talking, follow me very carefully. The same set of people that produced 1999 governor are the same set of people that produce 2003, 2026, up to date. For whatever that is their problem, they now decide to split themselves into two and choose to hold Rivers State to ransom, which we are not going to accept. This same set of people are the same people working with. There is no local government crisis in Rivers State. Is these same people divide themselves into two? One set now choose to work with the former governor. Then the other set choose to work with the present governor. I said it last time, that it's our time to the former governor to know that this is a state he governed as a governor for 8 years. And he received all the support he needed from Rivers people. What somebody will do to you, you will not accept. Why do you choose to do it another person? The same set of people also join issue, part of them with the incumbent governor. It's time for the former governor to know that these people work with him are the same set of people. So he should know For whatever it is, he belongs to Rivers State. There is no way the former governor can run away from Rivers State. If he likes, let him travel. He will still come back. And he can only enjoy his state when the state has a peace. That these people working with him don't have the interests of Rivers people. They are selfish human beings who believe that it has to come to their pocket. I have said it. Crisis is not good. Because they are benefiting from it. I'm from Andoni. Andoni man has no problem with Opopo man, or Ikwere man, or Ichie man, or Imoha man. It is the same people who feel that governance has to be within their domain. If it's not them, it's their wife. If it's not their wife, it's their children. If it's not their children, it's their in-law. They are not doing Governor Wike anything good. The same set of people are the people with the present governor. If it's not, watch. Look at the list of appointments made by the governor. Some of them, their children are commissioners. Some of them, their wife has appointment. Some of them, their in-laws has appointment. Some of them, their relations has appointment. Because they are benefiting from the crisis, they don't want the crisis to end. The two people should be able to realize that they belong to that state called Rivers State. The business in Port Harcourt is moving on freely. Why must they be listening to these people? So the earlier they look inward and know that the problem of Rivers State is caused by these same people, the better for them. Because tomorrow, history will recall when you were governor and left, what did you do? When you were governor, as a sitting governor and left, what did you do? They have children. People one day will confront their children. This is what, because the governance in Rivers State has a very short time. It's not a lifetime issue. As a sitting governor, the highest Fubara will be there is 8 years, like every other person. Even as a sitting minister, the president has a right at any time to change him. And if that happens, what happened? He will retire back to Rivers State. And you can only come home when there is a peace. So, they should shun. Because I am saying it. If those people are doing them good or doing Rivers State people good, let them come up and talk the way I am talking. Because they have soiled their hands. They know when Wike was governor, they were the ones working with Wike. They can't come up today to say Wike is a bad man. It's the same people that are with Fubara. They can't come up. I challenge any of them to come up and talk the way I'm talking. If their hands are not soiled. Because they have soiled their hands, they won't come up and talk openly. Rather, they will continue to cause trouble. And it's high time for both the former governor and the incumbent governor to know that the rat that is eating them is in their pocket. It's not outside. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You have spoken today passionately about how essentially you are holding the political class in Rivers State responsible for the crisis within the state, that people who have held power or families who have held power continue to do so at the cost to the people of Rivers State. Now, there have been
a lot of talk about gunshots, sporadic gunshots across the state, the fear of violence. Do you believe that the people of Rivers State right now, that their liberty, their lives, their security is being held ransom by political machinations between two men?
Well, let me make this very clear. There is no problem in Rivers State. There is a governor, and it can only be one governor at a time. Nobody is monopoly of wisdom. And that is why people ask questions. There is no president of a country that does not ask questions. That is why you have advisors and all that. The governor should not sit within his comfort zone. He should ask questions. All these things are happening. Let me make it very clear. When you travel, you are made to see good things. And when you see good things, you drive them home. Not to use the power because you are connected to the president, you are connected to the minister, you are connected to Inspector General of Police, you are connected to Chief of Army Staff. Whosoever you are connected to, people has been connected to those people earlier before now. Your ability to draw this power back home for your people to enjoy matters a lot, not to use it to cause crisis. And the governor too should sit up. I've said it in my previous interview. There is no way you will lead without opposition. President Tinubu is facing opposition. But your ability to overcome the opposition and do what is right is what matters a lot. I've also said it, that all this is happening to bring down the governor so that it will not do well. And no Rivers people will take it from him 2027, that because there is a problem, that is why he didn't do well. He has a lot of power within him. He's well read. He should ask questions and stand on his feet and do what is right. That is having a problem with his former Oga has nothing to do with Rivers people. Odili become a governor and refuse to acknowledge his boss, Rufus Ada George. That does not mean that Odili did not do 8 years as a governor. Amechi became governor and refused to recognize Odili. That does not mean that Amechi did not complete his tenure for 8 years. Wike became governor and refused to recognize Amechi. That does not mean that Wike did not complete his tenure. So, Governor Fubara should stand and overcome the opposition so that he can deliver dividends of democracy to Rivers people. I keep saying it. The only thing is that some people felt government is their father's property. And if you go through the history of Rivers State, these people that are causing this problem, their father, their grandfather, none of them has contributed anything to the growth of Rivers State. What other people labored is what they come to enjoy. If those people that has labored for all these things has destroyed it, which one would they come? Whatever you sow is what you reap.
Chief Asukewa, if I could just
that state has been the number.
If I could just come in, because you are gradually getting to my next point, and as we start to wrap up, I just wanted to talk about how crucial you believe that dialogue and mediation are in resolving it. Because you said the people of Rivers State actually don't have a problem. There's no problem there. The crisis is within these two factions or these two parties. So who should be involved in these discussions? Do you believe that the president should be called in to mend the tide? And what advice would you give to those involved in navigating and resolving this very complex situation? Very briefly as we start to wrap up, Chief.
Mr. President is the president of Nigeria. Some president contest election and fail. They still contest again. I've seen presidents that contested election 3 times. They fail. Later they won. No, Mr. President is the #1 citizen of Nigeria. The FCT minister is working with Mr. President. The governor of Rivers State is working with Mr. President. If the first dialogue did not produce as much Mr. President think, the second one can work. And I want to say this. It should be a little bit shift out of political issues and look at the state as one of the states in Nigeria. Now, to former governor, it is better for him. There is nothing wrong. I am one man that believes in dialogue. There is nothing wrong for whatever people have said, for whatever that has happened. Let the bygone be bygone. He can call Fubara and say, what is the problem? Because if 2 of them continue to stay apart, these hunters will continue to have their way. I said it last time. I'm a typical village boy. When hunters come out in the morning, they agree on the route to take. In the afternoon or in the evening, they assemble at the market square to look at the profit of the day. And these are what these people are doing. Look at the front men that are working with the former governor and the front men that are working with the incumbent governor. They take your mind back 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They are childhood friends. They are business partners. They are political allies. They have eaten the same table. They have eaten in the same pot. But today, they feel that the former governor, as FCT minister, there is a lot of juicy thing to come. So they can't toe one side alone. They not divide themselves.
Yes, sir.
Then to the present governor too, there is nothing wrong for him to wake up one morning and say, what is going on?
Yes, sir. Chief,
can we sit up?
Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but you have made a very salient point this morning. We appreciate your time and analysis. Member of the Rivers State Elders Forum, thank you for being here on the morning show.